In this chapter, inventory management, we're going to learn about inventory. Inventory is a stocking of goods or products. We're going to learn about effective inventory management and what are the characteristics of effective inventory management. And we're going to learn about policies for classification of products in an inventory. Suppose you have hundreds or thousands of different types of products in different quantities. Where should you put them? What order you should put them? So this is an important decision. Also, one of the two main decisions in inventory management are the timing, when to order, and the size, at what quantity you should order. We're going to learn about different types of problem regarding these two issues. Mainly, we're going to learn about different models for the quantity ordering, the production quantity models in inventory management. Hope that this is going to be a productive chapter and you will learn about inventory management a lot. The learning objectives for this chapter is as follows. We're going to learn about the inventory and its definition and about different types of inventory and also about the functionalities of inventory. We will also discuss the main requirements for effective inventory management and learn about the ABC rule and its approach in inventory management. And also we're going to learn about different production quantity model and how to solve typical problems using those models. What is inventory? Inventory is a stocking or a storing of goods. Inventories are a vital part of businesses. They are necessary for operations and they are also important for customer satisfaction. For manufacturing, for example, you need to have a storing and a stocking of goods or inventory of goods so that you can actually produce a number of product based on the inventory that you have from the raw materials. So you need to have a space to store those raw materials or those products and goods. There are two general types of items that can define inventory of those. We can have independent items and we can have dependent items. Independent items are those items that they can be sold or used independent of each other. For example, a computer. Dependent items, on the other hand, they may actually need to go together. For example, components of a finished products that are usually bought together. A motherboard, a mouse, a keyboard, a monitor, a tower, a computer tower. So these are dependent items, and most of the time, customers buy these together. Let's now learn about different types of inventory. We can have inventory of raw materials and purchase parts, which is going to be at the beginning of the production line. So when you're in a manufacturing, you need to have raw materials to produce a product. And to produce a mass production, to have mass production, you need to have inventory of raw materials. So that's at the beginning of the production. In the middle of the production also we can have inventory. Those are called inventory of partially completed goods or work in progress, WIP. When a product actually is processed on certain machines and is ready to go to the next machine, because these machines can have different processing time, so you need to have a buffer and a stocking of those partially completed goods. We can also have inventory at the very end of the production line, inventory of finished goods and uh, the finished products. After you are done with the manufacturing for the products that you have produced, you need to put them somewhere. That's the inventory of finished goods. Also, besides that, we can have inventory of tools and supplies and the maintenance and repairs inventory. And also goods in transit to warehouse or to customers. That's also another types of inventory. For example, a pipeline inventory, or this is this is really the case in terms of the oil. Oil in the pipeline is kind of inventory to get to the customer. Different functions of inventory. Inventories serve a number of functions, such as to meet anticipated customer demand. These types of inventory is called anticipation stocks. Suppose a customer can be any person, walks in off the street to buy a new product, or a mechanic who requests a tool at a tool crib. These types of purchasing, the demand from customer, are anticipated. And the manufacturing, they put these inventories based on the demand, anticipated demand in the inventory. And then when the demand arises, they're going to fulfill the demand. So these types of inventories are referred to as anticipation stocks because they are held to satisfy expected demand, the average demand based on the forecast for the demand in the future. Another functions of inventory is to smooth production requirements. This is called the seasonal inventories. Firms that are experience seasonality and seasonal patterns would require these types of inventory to satisfy the rise in the demand based on the seasonality. Another function of inventory is to decouple operations in terms of machine breakdowns or any other types. So historically, manufacturing firms have used inventory as a buffer between successive operations to maintain continuity of operation and production that would otherwise could be disrupted by events such as breakdown of a machine or equipment or accidents or any other types of disruptions. So to hedge against these types of incidents and disruptions, firms put inventories between operations. So this is called the decoupling operations, inventories. Also, another function of inventory is to protect against stockouts. This is called the unanticipated demand variability. So delayed deliveries and also unexpected increases in demand increase the risk of shortage. Delays can occur because of different reasons. For example, weather conditions, the supplier stockouts, or any other problem with the supplier, or any other problem with the supply chain up to that point, and or deliveries of wrong materials, wrong product, or quality problems. And because of this unanticipated event, we need to have a protection. So these are another function of inventory. Inventory can also be used to hedge against price increases. So if a firm anticipate that there might be an increase, a huge increase in a price of a product or a raw material, they might actually purchase a bulk of those and put them in inventory so that they can save money if the price increases. Another function is to take advantage of quantity discount. So it is very normal and usual that when you purchase in bulk in large quantities, you're going to get discount in pricing. So this is another benefit that you can actually um, make benefit from by purchasing in bulk, although you may not need it at the time, but you can purchase it at the discount price and save money and put them in inventory, the excess of it. Also, another function of inventory is to take advantage of order cycles or economic lot sizes, which we're going to talk about later in the chapter. Now that we learned about different functions of inventory, we can now talk about objectives of inventory management. What is the objective of inventory control and inventory management? Inventory management has two main concerns. One of them is the customer service and customer satisfaction level, and the other one is the cost of ordering and carrying inventories, because carrying inventory is costly. So the reason, one of the big concerns for the inventory is customer satisfaction and customer service, which is mainly, you can sum it up to by having the right goods and right products available in the right quantity, in the right place, at the right time. So this is where inventory can help. But carrying inventory is costly. It's going to cost money. So any manager would want to minimize the cost as much as possible. So that's another concern for inventory management, to maintain the level of customer service and achieve a satisfactory level of the customer satisfaction while keeping inventory costs within reasonable bounds, or minimize them as much as possible. The two fundamental decisions in inventory control then can be summarized as the timing, when to order, and the size, how much to order. So these are going to be the two main decisions. So how can we judge the performance of inventory management, inventory control policy, for example? The performance measures to judge effectiveness of inventory management can be summarized by these two. First is customer satisfaction. So that's the reason of the inventory. You want to maintain a level of customer satisfaction, customer service. So a measure and a judgment for that is the number and quantity of back orders. That's the number of orders that cannot be fulfilled by the number of orders from the customer that cannot be fulfilled because of a stockouts, because you don't have those products in inventory. So that's a sign that you're not maintaining the satisfaction. And also the customer complaints. So these are measures that you can use to judge the level of customer service and customer satisfaction, which is one of the purpose of inventory control. The other one is the inventory turnover, or the inventory turnover, which is actually the higher the better, and that is actually the ratio of average cost of goods sold to average inventory investment. And this is also another topic that we're going to talk about it more in more detail later on. The turnover ratio indicates how many items, how many times a year the inventory is sold. Generally, the higher the ratio, the better, because that implies that you are using the inventory more efficiently. So that's another measure to judge the performance of a inventory management policy or inventory manager control.